The way we usually think about closure is that it's this invisible peace of mind that only someone else can give us. Regardless of if it was a romantic relationship or just any other sort of encounter or situation or however things played out, whether it was someone that we barely even knew or someone we almost knew or someone that we knew really well, we just internalize closure as something that only someone else can give us. And in these situations, usually it's someone who's hurt us, because if they didn't hurt us, then we wouldn't feel the need to close anything, right? So I just think this idea of closure is really interesting, because we speak about it as if it's a basic psychological need, right? You hear people talk about how go out on a limb, say things, do things that normally they wouldn't feel comfortable with, but because they desire that so much, they desire that feeling of closure, as we call it, they go ahead and do it anyway, like hoping to get this thing from the other person. And I just think that a while ago I got this really interesting piece of advice that over time I've internalized, and I really think it is the unexpected way to get closure in whatever kind of situation has left you feeling open, I guess. So the whole idea here is that you want to think about why you are so bothered. Really think about it. What is the truth here? Like, what has got you so unsettled? And really be honest with yourself. The reality of what's gotten you feeling this way, it may not be something that you want to believe or you want to hear or you want to hear out loud. But if you take the time to introspect and you find yourself thinking and pinpointing what it is that has got you so torn up about whatever's happened, if it feels real, then that's the truth. Now that you know why you feel this way, and you have come to your own truth and realization of what is like the gritty fact of why you're so annoyed or upset or torn up about something, okay, take that truth, keep it with you. But the next step is you want to think about, what do you want to tell this other person who's got you feeling this way? What do you want them to know that you haven't already told them that's bothering you so much? What would it be that if you told them this, if you explained yourself, if you revealed details or emotions or anger, whatever it is, what would you want to tell them that would just absolve you of some of this thing that's weighing down on you? What would make you feel lighter? What would make you feel more clear? And really just write a letter of what you would want to tell this person. It doesn't have to be 100% from your soul, remember how we put the truth over here? It doesn't have to be a complete translation of what you know to be true and how you're feeling. You can keep your dignity, and you should. But fundamentally, what do you want them to know that they don't know already? But here's the thing. You have to write this letter with zero expectation that they will reply. Actually, you have to write this letter expecting that you will never get a response. It's kind of like a letter in a glass bottle in the ocean. You write it and you throw it into the ocean with no hopes that somebody will open it and read it. You just write it for yourself. If somebody finds it, then that's great. If somebody replies, then great. But the whole point of thinking this way is that you won't, along the way, you won't be trying to express things that are secretly yearning for a response. Because what is that? If you're secretly hoping for an answer to something, or for a reaction in the other person, or for something, some emotion or vulnerability, or evoking whatever it may be, then that's not closure. You're still relying on the other person to feel okay. You're still relying on the other person's reaction to feel as though the situation is over. So you can't do that. When you write this letter, or when you plan what you want to say, or I don't know, you have to take it with the expectation that you are writing to someone who will never reply. And I think getting to that point, being able to express yourself, distill everything you've wanted the person to know, knowing the truth, right? But choosing what you want the person to know and leaving it at that, I think that that's a major step that teaches you that you can never get closure from someone else. You can't. It's something you have to give yourself, and the only person who can give it to you is yourself. So the way I like to think about it is kind of like if you write a letter to someone who's passed away, why would you do that? You know, you may have the belief that they'll know what's in the letter, but if you write it and you leave it at someone's grave, no one's gonna open that. You're really writing it for yourself. And that's kind of what this is. It's like the kind of like the death of the relationship, or the death of the situation, or altercation, or encounter, or whatever. You are basically writing like a letter and just putting all your thoughts that you would like the person to know, but you don't need anything from them in order to move on. If they reply, okay, but you didn't need that reply from them. If they tell you something new that you were hoping they'd say, or that you didn't know they would say, then okay, but you didn't need that. If they ignore you, you were prepared for that. Actually, you had no expectation of them replying. So you can't be hurt. And you won't linger on this anymore. You've said what you've needed to say, and you're free, you know? So that's just my quick take on what closure is. I don't think it's something that someone can ever give you. I think it's something that you have to find inside yourself.